Okay. We are going to see Built to Spill in St. Louis, and I think
The popular rock band.
very world-renowned rock bands. And we're meeting Dug Martsch, the lead singer-songwriter. Martsch.
Martsch.
Oh God!
No, don't do that.
This is already destined to fail. My name's Conor and this is
Tynan Shevlin. We're here with
Dug Martsch
of the band Built to
Spill.
Yeah.
See how this works?
That worked out good.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna ask
that.
Teamwork.
That was just ad-lib.
Just visual clues.
How did you get into music?
You know, I love music. I can't remember why first loving music or why I did or when I got into it. But when I was a kid, I listened to the radio all the time. When I was a kid, the radio was pretty good.
Really?
There was kind of, yeah,
I don't believe
it was the top 40 was real good. And it had a lot of variety. They had, you know, like things like the Beatles and, you know, kind of classic things you love, like, I don't know, Rolling Stones. And so when I was growing up, the radio kind of has all kinds of cool stuff to listen to. And I just was obsessed with it. And then I didn't start playing music till I was much older, till I was in high school. I started high school and started playing guitar.
So when you're writing a song, what do you usually start out with? Do you think of the lyrics first or the melody or?
Myself, I'm all about chord progression and melody, and then lyrics are later, usually much later. I'll sit and kind of just strum out some random chords and sing random things into the air, and be like, hey, that's kind of nice. So then I'll sit with a tape recorder and record little tiny, you know, ideas, little snippets of ideas, and then go back and refer to them a month later or something, and like, oh, that one's kind of cool. Oh yeah, that one's good.
So how would you say Built to Spill has evolved over the years? Like where do you think you've come?
Well, I mean, the most significant way is just the lineup. You know, it started out with, you know, different people and changed lineups a few times, and it's become really solidified with these guys, and you know, kind of a serious band instead of recording or touring project. It's really a band. It wouldn't be the same if any of us were not in it. It's not, you know, my thing at all.
Do you think your sound has evolved or
Absolutely,
solidified?
yeah. Totally. That's in that way, because every person that plays any instrument plays it their own way, no matter what. Even if they're trying to rip someone off, even if they seem kind of bland. Like, no two bass players play the same, as strange as that sounds. There's a lot to just the feel of how you play and rhythm, and there's so many things just going on mechanically. I'm not talking about gear at all either. Put the same, you know, 100 people on the same gear and they're going to sound different.
Would you have any advice for any aspiring musician who's maybe watching this interview and wants to make it big like Built to Spill?
Oh, if they want to make it big, then I would say have all the stars line up right for you and be incredibly lucky.
Just rely on luck. That's how you do it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to make it, that's what you got to rely on. It doesn't matter how good you are. I mean, people, you know, I don't think people need advice. If they're going to do stuff, they're going to do it. They'll figure out ways to do it. If you're passionate about something, you'll figure out a way to get your hands on whatever you need to get your hands on and do it, you know. And those people don't need any advice. But as far as breaking into any sort of, you know, breaking into the business or whatever, that's just knowing people, being in the right place at the right time. That's all happenstance. Because there's wonderful, you know, people making wonderful art across the spectrum that won't get any attention, and there's people making crappy art that are going to do well. It comes down to who you know and how that stuff works out. To me, music doesn't change that much, or hasn't changed that much in my lifetime.
Do you think maybe new technology like the internet or anything is affecting the way music is distributed?
Yeah, definitely the way it's distributed, yeah. I don't know what effect it has on just the music itself, the quality of it, you know, sound and stuff. But, you know, there's something to, of course, to being able to distribute your stuff to anyone, you know, like have your stuff available to anyone. That's great. But there's also something kind of, you know, there's such a thing as too much.
Like it's all white noise.
You know, I mean, there's so much information and so much, just being able to access information so easily, it kind of takes the value away from information. And I think when I was younger, I couldn't turn on the computer and find a Butthole Surfers video.
Yeah.
So if I saw a Butthole Surfers video, it was a special occasion. You know, it was magical. It was like, wow, this is incredible. You know, if you wanted to hear a band, you know, you buy a record and you spend your money on it. And it's like, you better listen to that thing, you know, you better treat that thing, you know.
Yeah.
You better spend some time with it because you just spent $10 on it.
I noticed that thing on stage, the thing that's on the back table. What is that?
Oh, you know what? This is loquat. It's some Chinese thing that this Chinese friend of mine in LA started giving me whenever I'd go there. It's loquat syrup. Some kind of, I don't know, loquat, I think it's some kind of fruit or something. I'm not really sure.
And it makes syrup.
And it's totally like syrup. If you want, if you don't think it's too gross, you can have a sip of it. It's pretty good.
Do you drink it?
Yeah, just it's
Maybe
like
I'll
syrup.
just smell it.
I feel really. Well, this is peer pressure at its finest.
It smells like
Go for it.
smells like apple juice.
It smells like
It's
apple
pretty
juice.
delicious,
I mean, I'm
actually.
into apple juice.
And then just take a tiny bit and
Don't say, dude. What's your problem?
coats your throat. It makes it easier to sing.
Better to sing.
Makes it better. Makes everything better.
Here goes nothing.
Makes everything better. Wow.
Throat wise.
Everything is better. Everything's better.
I'm
great.
glad you tried it.
I am too.
You like it?
It's like the viscosity of like ketchup, but it tastes like. I have no idea if I
It's
like that, honestly.
You know, I never imagined doing this at all. I started making music, and all of my heroes and stuff were kind of these punk rockers, you know, bands like The Replacements, and Husker Du, and Butthole Surfers, and I just wanted to get to the point that they were at, where you just being able to make a record and be on a label that you didn't have to spend your own money to make a record. That was my whole goal. And you know, like the story, what I was telling you about the guy from Dinosaur taking our CD to the people at Warner Brothers. I was already set. You know, had made it as far as I was concerned. Up Records put out our record, paid for it. So I never expected to make a living off of this. I always expected to work a regular job, do this for fun as long as I could. And then when we signed to Warner Brothers, again, I kind of, you know, I was glad to get some money, be able to quit my job, and, you know, live off music for a while. But I thought it was going to be very temporary. I thought it was going to last a few years, and then you die, move on to whatever was next. So to be this far into it, still be doing it, making a living and still enjoying it, being really excited about playing and stuff. I couldn't imagine it happening.
So what time is it right now?
It is almost.
It's
12.
11:43.
And what do we have tomorrow?
School.
There's school going on tomorrow.
I have 70 pages of Pride and Prejudice to read.
I
Mr.
have-
Middlestat, if you're watching this video, know that I spark noted it.
And final thoughts for the night.
Yeah, I was there. The whole set list thing was hysterical to me.
Yeah,
What
their
happened?
method- we wrote down some songs that we liked on an envelope.
Presuming they might consider this, you know, in their final set list when they're revising everything.
And apparently that envelope was the set
Was
list.
the set list, yes.
And that's all they had to go on, and so they basically winged it and decided on what song they were going
You
to
could
play.
hear them on stage being like,
immediately after.
what's next?
Immediately before.
Like you could hear Doug be like, what about Virginia? I had a really good night. I'm glad we were able to come out and do this.
I had a fantastic night too. And the fact that I have school tomorrow isn't really bothering me right now because I'm in the company of friendship and brotherhood and music, and so it makes it all a little bit better.